Matthew Hopkins, and yes, you get to enjoy the fullness of this awesome Christmas shirt in June. But I have officially started the YouTube channel. There's a few things I'd like to do. To begin with, just share some of my artwork with you, and I don't know, we'll go from there. You know, here's one non-representational I did. A lion I'm working on. I know he looks like Scar. It was unintentional. I thought it was finished yesterday, but it's not. It's really good to go back the next day and to look at your work, and you can start finding details like that wasn't dark enough, and so I started adding that. I still may even add more darkness in there, and that eye, even though it's in the light, because the light's coming up from over here more than anything. That's the primary light source, is the front and the side. So I need to fix that some. And so it's really good. You can overwork a painting all day. There's a point where you got to stop. I think it's Rembrandt that said, you know, you never actually truly finish a painting, you just stop working on it. And I believe that is true. But whenever you can go up the next day, walk up to it and go, you know what? I really can't find anything to fix with it, then it's done. And that's kind of how it goes. Because I was ready to frame this, and then it started getting on my nerves about the things I knew that I could have fixed. And if you're going to be an artist, you can't be lazy. Are there shortcuts and things like that that'll help you become a better artist? Absolutely. But as far as not willing to put in the time, to put in the many marks that go in to make texture, you have to do that, and it pays off. Just like this charcoal of this lion right here. This one I really like. It's more photorealistic. It was from a source, from a reference image, so I was able to capture it better. It's not as comic-y as the one I just showed you, but still, I thought I was finished, and my instructor back in the day, Miss Pace, said, "No, you are not, sir." And I cannot tell Mrs. Pace thank you enough for what she has done in helping me to become a better artist. She has pushed me and shown me mixed media in a way in which I never saw, the same as Mr. Derek White. They were some of my instructors at school, Mr. Wiley, Tamara Haynes. I mean, this was a few years ago whenever I finally got to go to school on my GI Bill. This is a non-rep acrylic. And I've got a lot of them put up right now, but this is the one that I'm going to work on next that I told y'all about yesterday. I kind of got a weird setup going. I'm going to try to record myself. Feedback will be welcomed on what I can do to make it better. But this is what I'm going to start on. I got to prep. But this is going to be a piece that maybe, hopefully if things work out, y'all can watch me do it. And I'll start doing some live feeds if I get enough people on the channel. But I want you to notice something. What do you notice if you're an artist? This. What are these? Reference images. I don't care how good of an artist you are. If you aren't using reference images, unless you're doing free sketches or you know a subject enough, you're doing it wrong. There's nothing wrong with a reference image. I'm not talking about tracing. I'm talking about reference image. You have to have a reference image. It helps your brain integrate where the shadows are going to go and things of that nature. Whereas when you do start learning light and shadow on your own, you can start creating it out of your own head without having to always have a reference. But still, I still had somewhat of a reference. It just wasn't for this picture. It was just so I could get the textures right. So that is first tip, references. Always, always. All I did is do a few save images off of Bing search, stuck it in an InDesign file inside of boxes, and then printed it on a black and white printer so I could get some good grayscale. I wasn't worried about the color because I already have an idea of the color. I'm thinking of going with green eyes, some sort of a red background, but the dragon's going to stay grayscale. And yes, I did these brushes in one stroke. I did all of this in one stroke. and then the face obviously wasn't. But I can't show that step because I did that about 2 years ago, but I'm going to show you how basically I used a piece of canvas, made a edge with it, and now I can make scales. I can kind of recreate, see what needed to be done. So I can always rebuild and then use an eraser, or wait until it gets lighter for the lighter areas and darker for the darker areas. So because I actually want this loop of the tail to go under, and you can see where when it was liquid it passed over, so we have this double opacity going on right in here. So one thing I really want to do is make sure that I add shadow here, and I add shadow here, and add a highlight here, shadow here, highlight here, and then shadow and highlight to try to make that stand out. So that's going to be one thing I do. He's going to have green eyes, somewhat of a red background. I'm not sure exactly what all is going to go from there, but that's pretty much where we're at right now. Thanks for listening to me, and please subscribe to my channel. Press that like button, and there'll be more to follow. I'm going to do live streams, do everything, but I'm going to try to put a video out a day, and you might even get one later when I start working on this. I just got to get some of my materials prepped, so I'm not stopping in the middle of all these just to go find my brush. Have a blessed day.